go to ART-OUT-SIDE-FTW/admin. This is the access to our studio. If you click in, so we have two ways to enter. There's one through a Web3 wallet, which is for those that are more Web3 native, or you can just use your email. So we're using email. In this case, we're going to drop in. You can choose whatever email that you want to use. It's going to send an invite link to then access. So click submit, and now it sent the code to verify who I am to my email. And I am going to cool. Just got the email. Drop in that code. And so I've already logged into the studio, but it'll ask basically to accept the terms and conditions, which are for access to the studio. Pretty standard. And then we have this, like our pricing for the studio. So this is where you could choose like a monthly or yearly plan. And then we have like the two different packages. One is for like our map maker or curator license. And this is for being able to build and customize your own maps and deploy your own maps. Granted, you can still create and customize your personal map, but this is to create your own standalone map. Then we have the individual creator license, which is $30 a month. Comes with a 7-day free trial as well. And this is the monthly. So I'm going to go ahead and click start trial. And then you'll see right here, where I add the promotion, ART, out.
And Rob, thank you so much for giving us access to your platform for the month so we can do this AR challenge. Thank you very much.
No worries. Cool. So yeah, I just entered it in and it's free for the month. So I'm cancel out. So once you do that, you'll then be brought into the studio. This is the studio. There's a big banner that's up here, very colorful one. If you click on it, it'll actually send you straight to our documentation website. And the documentation website, we try to make it as simple as possible. There's some video tutorials of like placing something in the world, leaving a secret message, creating face paint, doing an AR visualizer, creating a hologram, things like that. And then also there's like a whole thing about like every single module, there's a description about it as well. So it's not as verbose. Again, I think it's fairly straightforward, but if you do have questions, we're here too. So let's go ahead and create our first experience. So if you're logging in for the first time, you won't see a lot of this. This is because I'm in a little bit of our admin view, but we also have a lot of pieces. There will be a button though, no matter what, that says create AR experience or create AR moment or AR art piece for everyone that's logged in for the first time. Look for that button. It's pretty straightforward and in your face. And click it, and you're going to get immediately brought into this warehouse. This warehouse has zero bearing on the end output of the experience. It's really just for, we don't want to have a black scene, just like a blank black or blue scene that you might see in regular 3D programs. We want to kind of give it a little bit of light. But what is important about this is that this grid of squares is actually the ground. That's the ground plane. So whenever you anchor something, treat this as like your floor. And so you can actually click on the screen as oops, sorry, I don't want to make it sick. But you can click on the screen, you can move the things around. And if you hit Command and then you click with your mouse, you can move laterally, or like you have a little bit more specific versus scrolling. Anyways, this is we call this our studio preview. So in this case, I'm going to give this this is the name of the art piece. So we'll call it ART-OUT-SIDE-FTW. Now, this will actually show up in the ARC as like the name of the art piece. If I click generate, this will, and I highly recommend you click generate. These three pieces of information are key in order to save your work, you need these 3 pieces of information. Well, basically what the slug is we're generating a web address that's going to be at the end of the URL that gives you the destination of your experience. Now the author, if I click me, it's going to generate this pretty big code. Don't worry about it. That's actually your wallet address. Everyone gets a wallet address no matter if you had a Web3 wallet or if you logged in with email. You log in with your wallet address, we're using that one. If you log in with email, we generated this. This is basically so we can do the blockchain functionality below the surface, like through our architecture. But again, just click me, click generate. Those are really the only 2 areas that may look a little bit intimidating. But after that point, now I can actually save this this scene so I can start working on it. So I'm gonna give it about. This is a demo. I click show a map. The AR experience will be shown on the map. Now this is where we get to the fun part, content. So this is where I get to decide, okay, what kind of content do I want it to display? What kind of story do I want to tell? And where do I want to tell it? So image, I upload an image. Okay, it's getting very meta. We have a photo of a photo in AR. So go ahead and click that. And as you will see, right from the onset, as soon as I uploaded the image, a shadow was generated. And basically, and that was based upon this directional lighting system that was created, the ART piece. So you don't have to worry, you don't have to fiddle with it. If you like to kill the shadow, totally do that. I'll show you how to do that. But if I wanted to, let's go ahead and let's geotether this to where we want to put this first. So let me find that address. Nope, that's not the address. Here it is. So we want to anchor this to the field right here. So let's go ahead and we can just do a search. Okay, got the address. Boom. Zoom in. All right. This is the pitch. So this map, if I click, I can click anywhere on the map. Pull up. Or what's cool, if you really want to get super precise, you can drop in the lat long. And so that's what we did for the trail for the balance forces exhibit. So in theory, if I want to say this image was, maybe this was actually the photo of this, and I cropped out some of the UI and everything, and then I would actually want that to live there because now it's documentation of someone being there. I click save. That piece is now anchored to the field, right where we want. So really simple. I'm actually going to change out this image because it's not as exciting.
And I think what's cool too, Rob, is when people go to place their pieces into the field, you can see where other pieces are because those are marked on there as well. So you know that you don't want to go too close to someone or if you need a little bit more space. And I think when you do the exact coordinates, it's like when you don't want it to go into the mud flats, into the middle of the water, and you want to make sure it's like not, needs to be on the path or whatever.
Exactly. Yep. So
ooh, nice.
Yeah. So this is a little bit better of an image here. So and again, you can pull in any kind of content. So we can do video. Show it on the site.
Oh dear, that was almost me.
This is a work. This is a work from an artist that was part of the collection. I'm not going to save this one, but it's just so you can see how video plays in the scene.
Yeah, cool.
And then if you have a 3D model, you can do that. But not spending too much time here. I just want to share the functionality of the text. If you have no idea what you want to place there, but you want to just leave your leave your mark. You can just do a hello world, and you now have anchored something in 3D to the field. So we've sent like over here, we have too much time on our hands in Venice, but we've like sent messages to our friends at their houses, dropped them there, and told them to look at things. It's pretty funny.
I love that. You could do like the big, instead of the flamingos on someone's yard when they turn 50, you can just put
yeah, exactly.
AR all over the place.
Exactly. You can kind of play around with the colors and the font. Crazy.
And I think this is a really great way for the community to try it out. It's very simple, like you said, with the text or even just with images they have from their own phones, or if they take photos of the art that they've done through some of the other workshops during Art Outside at Pomo Arts. I think it's just, yeah, this is a very easy way to place something in there without having to know all the technology of creating mesh and 3D images and things like that. But also, I know there are artists in the community who are excited to explore that a little bit further and see what they can do with their art. So I know with those tutorials that you have, the artists that want to take it those extra steps will definitely get that information in there and stuff that other people may not know what they're talking about.
That's great. Yeah, and now, so we could, if we wanted to, we could stop right here. But I want to provide a little bit more. Like I want to spice up the scene a little bit to show you how quick and simple
it's fun to see. Yeah, exactly. What other things it can do is awesome.
So right here, it's so a couple things, like a couple key important things about our UI. Save buttons up top. That's really important. When you first log in, you can create a username. They'll actually be tied to you whenever you publish something into the world. There's this, which I'm actually going to click this button in a little bit, which actually generates an AR preview, so you can see it without having to be at the soccer pitch. And then there's a spatial AR preview, which is actually designed for navigating to that experience. Well, I'll show you all of those in just a second. But and then the last one here is this editor mode. So the editor mode is a drop down where different modules you can apply to the studio preview. So we're just in kind of like the core general data. You got to know where it is. You need to know what kind of content you're serving, and you want to get it. But now we can start kind of embellishing the scene. So this is where we have the world tracking transforms. This is where I can start to, let's make it a little bit bigger. Looks kind of small there. So let's go ahead. Bigger. All right. Now, you might notice that I said 4 space 4 space 4. That's kind of best practices for some platforms. We will eventually move to sliders, which would make it a little bit easier, but just note that there is a space between each digit here. So when I want to bring it up, it's X, Y, Z. So I want to bring it up the Y-axis. I want to make it go up the Y-axis. So now it goes up. It's now vertical. And you see the shadow now is respecting that as well. And don't worry so much about these. I do have tutorials around using this functionality, but what's really important is we want to start we're prepping how people will see it when they get to the location. That's what's important. So actually, I might want this to be a little higher up there. All right, sounds good. Go ahead and save it. I always making sure I'm saving things as I go. There are other modules like marker tracking, which is like how you would set up like a mural, and the face tracking, how you set up like selfie filters, face paint style stuff. But we're going to keep with what we're doing for this campaign, which is we want to anchor our stories to the soccer pitch there. So if you would like to, you can play around with the lighting module. You can change up the color of the light. This is really shown when you have like a 3D model. See that there's different, we can change up the light source. You can change out the direction. Say you want people to view this during sunset, so the sun's going to be a lot lower. Sky, you can now give it that long shadow from the time of day. But say you're like, you know what, I don't really want to deal with shadows. I could just cut the shadows off here. So I'm going to go ahead and save it again because I'm done with the lighting module. I'm going to move on to the next module, audio. So to make this, if you want to add audio to the experience, enable audio, upload your file, and you have an MP3. I don't want to dig too much from the computer here, but if you have MP3, you can add it here, and now your piece will now play with audio. We have this cool little feature here where you could turn it on, and not only will your piece play with audio, but it'll now kind of bounce to the beat. So now you're going to have something that's audio reactive. So again, just flip the switch, and it makes it look cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, and then animations module, again, flip the switch, boom, we're giving it some more movement. So now we got this little rotation. It's moving a little too quick for me, so I'm going to slow it down so you can see it. And then maybe I want to switch the axis a little bit so I can kind of give it a little bit of some flow and rotation there. But it's also another element. But I'm going to go ahead and speed it up. Speed, I'm going to take it off that axis. Saving. And let's go ahead and go into, actually, I think that's a good place for us. No. Last bit. Maybe I want to add a hyperlink. So when someone sees my AR experience, I can now give them a place for them to check out more of my work, maybe my website, my portfolio, things that are important to me. So I can now drive people to where they might be able to buy the artwork, wherever you want to drive people offsite. That's done through the interactions module. So I'm going to go ahead and click save. And then I'm going to share with you on my screen, on my mobile device. And I apologize ahead of time for my busy desk here. But I'm going to share with you what the experience looks like. So,
and Rob, I think what's really cool about having the month to play around with it, like you've shown us some pretty straightforward how to get in there, do some simple things, but it really is like for myself anyways, when I first started doing it, is about playing around in the space and trying to figure out like, what does this do? What if I put this number up? What if it's, going this way? And it's playing with those different functions to kind of see what's possible.
Exactly. No, that's exactly correct, Crystal. And I think there's things that I've seen folks do that I didn't even know you could do at the studio, which has been really fun to be a part of. Can you all see my phone screen? Or
yes, yeah, we can see it.
Okay. So, as I mentioned, I was gonna show you the over here where I click Simple AR Preview and Spatial AR Preview. These are now, I've gotten the AR scenes where I want to look at it. I want to view it in my house. So it generates a QR code that I can then scan. And now it asks for my permissions to my camera and motion, because that's how AR is. So now we can see that here on my desk, we have the AR experience.
I think that's one thing, Rob, is a lot of people get stuck on that permissions part, but that's a key part in being able to access the AR, which is to allow the camera, allow where you are, so everything can kind of come together, right?
Exactly. And so I think I did set up a link to Rarible. So if you want to link off-site, that's where that shows up, is that link button. And there's also this little camera button too, so I can snap a photo, or in this case, I can long hold it and record a video. But that is the simple preview. So